Thank you for choosing SiliconShelf. This is the tunnel dispenser control from SiliconShelf Electronic Systems. The system is called as shelf control, which controls a sanitizer dispensing tunnel. So how do we work with this? Let us see the operation. This device is compact, robust and controls the device as expected for time from 2 seconds to 30 seconds. You have time settings available from 2, 5, 10, 15, 20 and 30 seconds timer available. It has a sensor on indicator and also it has a load on indicator which displays whether the load is running or not. This is the sensor input. You have to connect this ultrasonic sensor to this port, and you have a port where you can connect the 220 volts direct input for this supply. So you don't need an auxiliary power supply to run this device. You can directly connect the live and neutral power supply from 220 volts mains to these two pins and you can connect, this is the non voltage output relay contacts for connecting the load directly. So you don't have to need a relay separately to run this device. So how to work with this device? So let us see a demo of this device. For testing purpose, we are connecting a 5 volt supply to see how the device operates. Once you connect, you see all the lights glowing indicating that the device is on, and this is the power on indicator which shows the device is in on state, and by default 5 seconds is selected. You can connect the sensor to this port in this mode. Once the sensor is connected, this is the ultrasonic HCSR04 sensor which is detecting the distance and it will turn on the load as per your expectation. So now we see that the time is set to 5 seconds, and if the object is sensed, you can see it gives a beeper indicator and the device will be on for 5 seconds. If you don't want the buzzer to be on, you can turn off this. This is the buzzer on off switch. Once you turn this off, the device would sense and the load would be on for 5 seconds, but the buzzer will not be beeping. Now as desired, you can set the timer from 5 seconds. So just this is the timer set adjustment button. Press this button to change the time. So now it has changed to 10 seconds. Press again, it goes to 15. So this would be cyclic. So once you change it, it would go to the next state, and once it is at 30 seconds, it would come back to 2 seconds. This also has a state retention capability, wherein if the power is removed or you switch off the device, even then whatever is the previous state, it would come back to the same state. You have set it to 2 seconds. This is the display on, and then it will show you that it is back to 2 seconds. Now let us see a 2 seconds demo. I'm going to sense the sensor by placing my hand to abstract it, and you can see the device would on for 2 seconds and turn off. And also we have a standby mode in this. So if you turn off this device, this switch, this means it is not a timer anymore, but it is a manual on off mode. So in manual on off mode, you can press this button so that the device turns on, and you have to press it again to turn it off. Pressing once turns it on. It would be on as long as you press the button once more. So the second press stops the sensor. This is manual mode operation. You also can connect a remote control to this system in manual mode, so that once you press the button, it would automatically trigger from a safe distance to turn on the load, and then you can switch it off. This remote is available along with this device, is optional. Also you have the mains power control switch here. This is the mains on switch, which you can turn it off on the device, and this is the safety fuse. In case of very high voltage, this safety fuse would act as a protection to protect the device from high voltages. How to adjust the time setting in this system? To adjust between these options, you just need to press this button once and leave it. Now the time is 5 seconds. time is 10 seconds, 15, 20, 30 seconds, and back to 2 seconds. So there is no need to retain. So once you make a setting, it would be memorized in the permanent memory of this device. Even if you remove the power and turn it back on again, it would come back to the previous setting. As you can see now, it has returned to 2 seconds. This is the time setting. Now if the load turns on, it will run for 2 seconds and it will turn off with a beep. If you don't want the buzzer during the load operation, just turn off this and send. Okay. Now how do we adjust the distance of this device? Currently, if you see, the distance is very near. If you keep your hand so 4 to 5 centimeters near the device, it is activating. So the distance is too close. Okay. Now if I want to increase the sensing distance, you need to press and hold this button until you hear a long beep. Keep the buzzer on so that you hear the sound. You press and hold this button until you hear a long beep. Once you hear the long beep, you can release your hand from the button. Now the device is in distance sensing mode. You can place your object at whatever height you want or whatever distance you want from the sensor. Keep an object there and then press this button once to set the distance. Now you can see the device is sensing from a larger distance. See, the device is sensing at a much higher distance now. You can see it senses at this level. So the same way, if you want, you can set the distance up to 6 to 8 feet. You just have to place an object in front of the sensor at that distance in the distance setting mode and then press the button. So this is a simple digital distance setting and also digital time setting, which both options are available, distance and time adjustment in this device.